Well, here we are. What, 12 years later? 12 years later. And back in the saddle again. Back in the saddle to do some more G.I. Joe. You might be wondering why, after 12 years, would we decide to want to do another G.I. Joe? Especially being that it took us so long to get the first one done.
Right. We I guess the way you really look at it, we just wanted to, we enjoyed doing the first one. Acting has always been something we've enjoyed, but G.I. Joe has always been something we've enjoyed.
Yo, Joe.
What a jackass. We look back, we both look back at the first movie we filmed almost 12 years ago. And, even though we both love the script, he wrote the primary script and I helped.
Yeah.
Here and there, but he was the main force behind the writing all the details and everything. But as we look back, we loved the old G.I. Joe, the menacing mask, but we wanted to put in so much more. We made it so much like the military, where there was meeting, and then let's go do something. Whereas as we watched the cartoon of G.I. Joe again, we realized
it's immediate action.
Immediate, you go right in. It's like they go in guns blazing, and that's what we wanted to get in this one, because somebody told me one time you have no right to bore your audience. And even though there's a lot of dry humor in the first one, I still want to get that, guns blazing.
Yeah, I definitely want to continue the dry humor, which I think we've done in the new script for Operation Recon. But like Jeremy said, we also wanted to explore the action aspect of G.I. Joe, and now 12 years down the road, technology's better, our equipment's a lot better, our editing software, or Jeremy's editing software is a lot better, and the potential's a lot better with green screens and special effects, and we just really wanted to play a whole new ball game with this one.
But at the same thing, then that's what I like. We're going with the new approach, but at the same time, there are elements from the first one that are mentioned. So it's not a new story altogether. Yeah. It's almost a continuation.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. It's not just making a brand new film. It's making a continuation, a series. And that's what I love about this new film.
And without the financing of Jeremy Satracchio's wallet, a lot of it wouldn't have been made possible.
That's another thing. You look 12 years ago when we did Menacing Mask, and we had next to no budget. So much so that I remember cutting out that wooden machine gun, and that Snake Eyes lugs around in the first movie, and even though it looked as good as wood could at that point, we had no budget, but we had access to a tank, we had access to an armored car, and that was cool. But on this one, we've spent about a year in pre-production.
Yeah,
getting things
writing the script and making props and buying military tactical equipment and stuff. A whole lot more has gone into this one by far, both money, time, planning. But another aspect we wanted to go into is looking at a new series of characters. Fan favorites throughout the cartoon series. Exploring new characters, seeing, I guess, really developing them, and I thoroughly Duke is to this day my favorite Joe, but at the same time, it was time to try somebody new, and so you're going to see people like Beachhead and Dusty and Mainframe and Snake Eyes revamped,
Right,
Um,
right.
Um,
You know, that's another thing that's neat. You know, you take a fan favorite like Snake Eyes, and man, it was so much fun to play Snake Eyes. But just like in this past year of preparation, you know, I've got to spend time training and learning a little bit of the martial arts. You know,
not a master yet.
I'm not a master yet, but to be able to learn some of the stances and some of the proper movements and everything, that's been a lot of fun. But to be able to play Snake Eyes, especially the revamped version of Snake Eyes, is just fans are gonna love it. That's all I gotta say.
Who else can you expect to see in this movie? Jeremy, you want to maybe name a few other than those that I've already mentioned?
Well, you know, let's look at the Cobras. You know, the Cobras are by far one of my favorites for this Operation Recon, because you take Cobra Commander. You know, though I loved our version of Cobra in the Menacing Mask, to revamp him just like the cartoon, with either the helmet or with the mask. Man, Cobra is going to be...
He's going to be a favorite.
He's going to be a favorite. Fans are going to love seeing Cobra and Destro both. I think those two will be just kind of, people will be amazed. Oh, you guys got them to a T kind of thing. But then you have Firefly, who was awesome. Scrap Iron, yeah. Firefly, hopefully he'll be in the 3rd episode. But you know, just even the Dreadnoks. The Dreadnoks have been revisited, and you know, quite honestly, out of all the characters to play, the Dreadnoks were one of my favorites to play.
Yes, I love playing Buzzer. That's a whole lot of fun. But in addition to Buzzer, Ripper, and Torch, you know, you're going to see people like Thrasher and Monkey Wrench and Noghide, Road Pig, Zanzibar,
even Zorana, Zartan's
So,
sister.
in fact, we're going to see a completely revamped Zartan that is going to be as close to the cartoon series as Jeremy could get. So it's going to be really exciting for G.I. Joe fans, because every character you see, you will recognize as that character.
Especially if you're a Joe fan.
Yeah.
You know, but even Major Blood, you know, Major Blood is another good one. Well, just honestly, I look at the Cobra Guard and the Cobra Officer, and even the Cobra Viper, Televiper. You know, you'll be seeing all of these guys. You know, just honestly, I think fans are just going to be like, "Oh man, that's great." But just the spectrum of what Operation Recon comes up to in comparison to Menacing Mask, it's just going to blow fans away. It's going to be action like you've never seen it in a fan film before, I hope.
Yeah, let's hope. Now, another aspect of, you know, what can you expect from Operation Recon? What's the whole premise behind it? And this is going along with the canon of G.I. Joe, that this is 10 years after G.I. Joe was disbanded because Cobra was defeated. And what Operation Recon is about is through international satellite and communication, that some of the former Joes like Breaker and Flint and Gung Ho, through this...
who have remained in the military up to this point.
Yeah. They've found rumors and probable cause to show that, you know, Cobra might be back on the rise. Cobra might have returned. And so what Operation Recon is about is, you know, them team going in on surveillance recon to find out, to check those rumors.
Particularly in another country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the main premise for the storyline, and so you're going to find this team of former Joes reunited for this special mission, and I think they get a little bit more than they bargained for.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they without giving too much away, they find out that Cobra is in fact together, but they're masterminding another evil plan.
Yeah.
And of course, we won't give away what that is, but we don't want to give away too much of the story. But all I could say is it's gonna be great. That's all I can say.
Gonna be a whole lot of fun for Joe fans out there, especially if you were diehard fans like us, and if you have a sense of humor, and if you like action, because you're gonna find all those elements in G.I. Joe Operation Recon.
And not to forget that it is an action comedy.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be taken seriously, but we want to put enough action into it where the comedy doesn't take away from the action sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to be sure that's,
Prominent.
prominent.
Yeah.
Over there! Get down! Intruder alert! I say again, intruder alert!